Well, hi there, and welcome to another episode of Hey, What's Next? GTmedia reached out to me a while ago and asked if I wanted to review their latest ATSC 3.0 Android 11 TV box, and I said yes, that's a lot. While GTmedia is supplying me with this tuner for review purposes, they did not have any input or control on what I'm about to say, and all of my opinions and thoughts on my own, right up here. Before we begin, I have to say my GTmedia contact has been extremely helpful in answering my questions and keeping me current on the updates to this box. The Converter X1 Android TV box ATSC 3.0 from GTmedia. This is what's next. All right, so what is ATSC 3.0? It is the new television standard for the United States that will replace, I know, ATSC 1.0 in the next couple of years. Well, what happened to ATSC 2.0? In short, it was dropped for the newer 3.0 standard. Anyway, this new standard promises improved picture quality, up to 4K, better reception, and a plethora of other new features. But it comes with some concerns regarding authorized devices, digital rights management, or DRM, and if you need an internet connection or not. But that's outside the scope of this episode. In short, a television that doesn't have an ATSC 3.0 tuner will need a converter box, and that's where GTmedia comes in. Let's look at our product here. So GTmedia sent this over for me to review. This does ATSC 1.0 and 3.0, as you can see down here. This does support DRM. It has a personal video recorder, comes with 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gig storage, but you can expand it with a USB port located here to the side. So 4K Ultra HD. This is the model number X1. And then on the back, it shows more of the features with the Bluetooth. It has over-the-air software updates, which at this point, I don't think I've had a software update for this yet. Although I did contact support, and he said one would be available at least for the app that works with the ATSC 3.0 digital tuner. And it does have it says free and powerful DVR function. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Android 11. So it's not the most current Android. We'll look at that as well. It does have the built-in HD TV player. And again, we already talked about the storage. So on the back, we have the antenna in, LAN, HD out, and 5-volt 2-amp barrel plug. We also have USB on the right side, and that would be the front. So done looking at the box itself, let's actually look at the product. All right, here we have the product warranty. We have the user manual. This is the device. It's not very big, probably about the size, a little smaller, bigger than the Apple TV. It has this kind of funky looking thing at the top, but that is the logo that they use for the app. On the side, we have our USB port, and then all the other ports on the back. We also have a HDMI cable. Here's the power supply. And last but not least, we have the remote. Well, won't you look at this mess? We have everything out of the box. Let's just go ahead and get it set up. So we got everything hooked up now. Prior to this segment, I realized that the antenna that was included with the items from GTmedia wasn't working quite well. We're having really crappy weather out here. So anyways, I ended up using another antenna with a booster pack. So hopefully everything will work this time. I don't have a permanent fixed antenna in this house. I probably should if I'm going to be reviewing these HDTV converters, but this is not the box's fault. This was totally our fault and where everything is at. So let's try this again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and we're going to power this on. All right, here we go. We're going to plug it in. We get the GTmedia logo on the screen, and this will take a few moments. This is not the fastest box in the world, but that's okay. Then we have our splash screen come up. You can have the default app set to whatever you want, but out of the box, it's going to be the HDTV app. So let's look at the menu structure that we have right here. We have our channel list. These are all of the channels that are in my area here, which there's quite a few. And you can flip through those using your remote, the up and down. And then you get your guide for the channel. There is some limitation to this. It's only so many hours into the future, so you can't go forwards. I did ask GTMedia about this, and they said that yes, that they were going to do an update to the app, fix some bugs. But yes, the guide is limited to just what's happening over the next 12 hours or so. So again, from 2 p.m. down to 11:30. So over here, you also have your channel scan, which if you do that, you can do your full channel scan, manual, adaptive, and then you have your QAM-B full scan. I have no clue what that is. The full channel scan, why don't we go ahead, we'll do that and see what that's like. And we'll see how long it takes to do the full channel scan. So right now, so let's see how long it takes. It's been 2 minutes. One of the things you're going to notice that in the frequency, 183 megahertz, it does ATSC 1.0 first, then looks for the ATSC 3.0 or next gen TV second. So that's interesting. I didn't notice that the first time I set this up. While it's doing this, what I wanted to show you real quick is how do I have this thing hooked up? So we are in the laundry room. And right there, all the way up, is the antenna. And it's just a standard rabbit ear antenna. Like I said, the one that was provided to me by GTMedia just didn't work. It wasn't doing a good enough job, and so I opted to just use one of my other antennas that I have. I just wanted to cut in here real quick. You're going to notice this symbol here, that represents a next-gen TV signal. One of the advantages of the market that we're in, none of these are locked. So none of these are currently DRM protected, which is a fortunate thing for us to live here in town. But in other areas, you would notice that there would be a lock icon that would show up. That would require DRM. And that would require the Wi-Fi signal. So one of the things that I'm going to show is that yes, with these channels here, I should not need to have Wi-Fi connected. Okay, we're coming up on the last of the radio frequencies, 35 of 35. We currently have 41 channels found, even with that podunky antenna that I got connected. Now, it is connected to a booster. I don't think we're going to get any more channels, but 41, that's not too bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click Save and Exit. And it'll tune in the channel that we were already on. So again, if we go back to our channel list, here are all the channels that we have, and we could flip through those again by using the remote. Okay, so what other fun things do we have here? If we go into settings, you have your channel manager, your time settings, which that should be set from the network. Okay, so you can hit Exit. We also have our captions, and you can turn those on or off. Exit that. We have the audio, which again, you can have first audio language or second, which in this case is Spanish. There is a personalization, signature check if it's enabled, so on and so forth. We can restore settings if we want. That would just restore the entire system. We aren't going to do that. And then here's the introduction. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on so you'll get an idea of what that's like, and I'll have to stop the unit and restart it. And then here's the information about the HDTV player. That's the app, what version, when it was released, and it looks like it was November 22nd, 2024, and there's the serial number. Next, you have a DVR function. So we could start the DVR, and you can see right here that it is now starting to record to the internal memory, and I can watch that later. Going back to menu, going back to DVR. Now, one of the things too to keep in mind is that you do have the ability to record multiple channels as long as they are on the same frequency. So let me see if I can get that to go. Looking at the channel list while I am now recording, it looks like these are the channels that we currently have on the same frequency. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get another one of these to record. And sure enough, you're going to notice that now on the top here, we have antenna, is recording, and then we have WWHO. That's also recording. So you can do multiple recordings as long as it's on the same frequency. Here are the recordings that I currently have. So I went to DVR, and then I went to DVR media list, and then again I can go to any one of these and it'll start playing back the recording that I made. Shows here the size and the duration. Again, it's only going to be as good as whatever video signal you're getting from your antenna, so keep that in mind. And one of the other things here, you got broadcast app, which if I select that, it says no available broadcast app now. That is because this is an ATSC 3.0 signal. If it's ATSC 1.0, it will not work. There is no broadcast app for that frequency. But all right, under DVR, you can select your DVR storage. We're going to try this and see if we can get this to work. And I'm going to plug in this Van Suni drive. It's an SSD drive, so it's got a better read and write. We'll see if this actually comes up. It is scanning the removable media. I'm not seeing it come up in the list here, so let me back out and see if it'll read it now. So this would be the external file directory here. So that would be the drive that we're going to record to. And if I go to DVR, menu, DVR, I did something and I don't know what I did. All right, I'm not going to say that it was the GTMedia converter. I was putzing around with the remote and it locked up. So we're going to let it go through the boot up process, and because I wanted to do this anyways to see if it's going to show those start screens, and then here we go. So that one item that we turned on earlier, this is what would show up when you first boot up the device. So we're going to go back to menu, we're going to go back to DVR, we're going to start DVR. Actually, let's go to select DVR storage. It is set to the external. So we're going to exit DVR, start DVR, and we are now recording, and it should be recording to this drive that's down here yeah, you can barely see it. It's located right here. And then we're going to take a look at the video file and see if that video file could be played. I know one of the things, if you have a locked channel, you will not be able to play back the recordings. But
back on my desktop here on my Mac, we have that untitled drive. And if we look at our Android and we go to data, there's this option here that's called Mobile Light. We hit Files. There's HD TV DVR. Boy, it's buried in here. And then we have a couple recordings. We have two from ABC World News, and then we have the WTTE. Now, this is the ATSC 3.0, and you can see that this is been split up amongst all these different files. So as far as the video is concerned, if I try to open this with QuickTime, we get the document cannot be opened. If we are to go into the ATSC 1.0, so you can play back those files.
all right, so what else does this box do for you? I'm going to go ahead and click exit, and you'll notice here you do have a favorites section and you have apps. Now, one of the things that my son and we were going through here is that there's some things that are just a little odd. So here is the about. We have the name of the device. Here's your factory reset. You'll also notice that it is currently running Android TV version 11 with the last update on October 1st, 2021. If there was anything about this device, that would be of a little bit of concern, especially if it is connected to your network and you wanted to use this as a streaming device. And there are definitely some limitations. You can't get Netflix, you can't do any of that stuff. So there are other stores that, sideload apps. Here is the GT store. And then these are the apps that you can, the Netflix one you can download, but it's definitely kind of a hacked version of that app. Again, not really knowing too much about it. Now there is an update, so we're going to see what the update. All right, we're coming up to the last % of the download itself. I do like the animation that they have here. That's kind of fun. And let's see what the install process looks like. One of the things about this device is that it's got so much with it, and I'm glad that I found that that's where you would update the apps. I really have been kind of holding off on doing this review, and now I feel like I might want go back through some of this. So this will be good. We'll see what's changed. Anyways, upgrade package has been downloaded. Please confirm the upgrade, and I'm going to say sure. And now it's going to upgrade the package copy. So let's see what that does. Looks like we're coming up to the end of the upgrade. I'm interested to see what they've made some changes to.
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's see, we had this email that came in. It said they fixed issues with buffering. They optimized some issues in video audio sync. Some stuttering issues as well were fixed. We also had some ineffective channel switching. Resolution icon displayed in the info bar, and prompt information when no programs are found during channel scanning. They also had added the function switch between software and hardware video decoding and modified other known issues.
Okay, system updated, reboot your device. Sure. All right, we'll fly through this boot up. The external drive is working, and it looks like we are booting into the app. And now we should be tuning back into the channel that we were last on. We are showing a network connected. And we are back into over-the-air television. Let's check our menu. So that's over here. Channel 4, we have this. How far into the future does it go? It's about the same time, so it's only really about the next 12 hours or so. So that didn't change. That's kind of a bummer. I did forget to mention that on the bottom, when you click the info button, you do get some information here, including the formats that you're getting through the over-the-air signal, along with the signal strength itself. All right, one other thing that I wanted to show real quick was if I turn off this Wi-Fi, can I still access the HD TV signals, especially the next gen TV signals? But you can see that we are connected, and if I go into info, that this is ATSC 3.0 because we're using the HEVC codec. Right here, it is HD. And we go back to menu. Again, if you can see down here, ATSC 3.0. That is a look at our HD TV from GTMedia. Let's take it back to the studio for my final thoughts. Okay, I have only scratched the surface on the features and functions of this converter box from GTMedia. I have moved the tuner to my 4K television upstairs, which doesn't have the capabilities of receiving an ATSC 3.0 signal, so I plan to continue using this device. So let's see what improvements occur, and I'll report back to you on what progress, if any, was made. So, what are my thoughts? Overall, this converter box does what it promotes. Receives over-the-air ATSC 3.0 signals and allows me to watch them on my non-ATSC 3.0 television. The built-in DVR function is nice, and the capability to record to an external USB drive is a bonus. While the speed of this device seems a bit slow at times, it gets the job done, and when compared to my 4K television, I think the tuner in this box is better. I like that there is a GTMedia forum. I'll be honest, I haven't used it much, but I like what I see, and I have read some of the stuff that's on there. I am a bit disappointed about that television guide where I can only see 12 hours into the future. A limited schedule makes it difficult to set a recording that's a few days out. I don't know, maybe I'm just doing something wrong. The installed version of the Android TV operating system is old, which brings up some security concerns. Considering the latest Android TV version is at 14, I doubt we'll see any updates in the future. To put my mind at ease, I did run a few scans of some Android-based virus applications and nothing came up. In short, I will continue using the Converter X1 as a tuner and maybe finally get a better antenna. Well, I hope you found today's topic helpful and informative. If you liked what you saw, take a moment and give me that thumbs up. And don't forget to share this video with others. To have my channel appear in your feed, go ahead and click that subscribe button and bell notification icon. If you have the time, feel free to watch one of my other videos either here or here. And until next time, I'll see you again for another episode of Hey, What's Next?